Hey people who want to make haunted house movies, it's time to stop. It's done. The genre's over, it's dead, it's overplayed. Get rid of it.
Do you believe in ghosts, Dr. Price?
I do not believe in anything I cannot see or study.
I feel their presence. In the air, in the walls. It has found us.
Winchester, the house that ghosts built. Or Winchester. I'm pretty sure it's just Winchester. Winchester is directed by the Spirit brothers, who directed Jigsaw, as well as it stars Jason Clarke, Helen Mirren, Sarah Snook, and Angus Sampson. So the most surprising thing about Winchester that I found out whilst watching the opening credits, it's mostly funded by Australia. And Screen Australia, Screen Victoria, Screen Queensland, and Village Roadshow. And honestly, those should be some warning signs. The only good Australian movie that's come out the last few years was Red Dog. Like, if there was another good Australian movie, it would be Dundee.
Free beer! Free beer! Free beer!
So Winchester is sort of inspired by true events. Helen Mirren plays Sarah Winchester. She's this old lady who takes on like all these grief and stuff because she basically is the head of a gun company. And in order to like compensate with all the souls, like lives lost with the guns and that are fired at them, and they're killed by gun, she decides to build a room for everyone. Everyone that's killed. So she's like built a mansion that's now something like over 100 rooms and 7 stories tall. And the company that's running the guns, Winchester like firearms, or they're not really satisfied, or they're really worried about how the way she's acting, and so they get Jason Clarke, who's a psychologist, to assess her to see whether she can like run the company anymore, and they're sort of pushing that she isn't. So Jason Clarke goes to the house and scary stuff happens, or quote, scary stuff happens. Most of that stuff consists of weird jump scares of roller skates flying across the floor, maids walking in and out of classrooms, and other times there are just things that don't make any sense. Like Jason Clarke goes into a basement at one point, and then all of a sudden the lights turn red, a girl appears and starts chasing her up the stairs. Never referenced again, never really explained what happened. There's a giant plot twist that makes no sense, but I'm really not going to disagree with it because I can't be bothered. You want to make a big dramatic plot twist? Sure, fine. I suppose you can do that if it was executed well, and it wasn't, so you screwed up. For the first half of the movie just really meanders about, unsure of what it really wants to be. And the plot really doesn't start until the last 40 minutes of the movie, so you're sitting there for an hour just watching Jason Clarke go about his day in this weird haunted house. And it's just boring, with dinner sequence and night scenes where he just decides to sneak out of his room because he can. Scenes like that, they sort of annoy me and make me really bored, and I was just bored for that amount of time until the ending where I was just less bored. The direction overall isn't that strong, and the acting from everyone is, I would say, okay. Helen Mirren, she's Helen Mirren. She's good in pretty much everything Helen Mirren is. Sarah Snook is good. Jason Clarke is good. The performances aren't terrible, except for Angus Sampson. I'll get back to him in a bit. The story, like I said, meanders, overall boring, but one of the more impressive, like one of the best things about Winchester is the way it's shot. It's very nicely shot, and that's pretty much all you can say about the cinematography and all the positive things you could possibly say about Winchester, because it's boring. It just is. It feels like there is pretty much nothing original about this movie, even though it says inspired by true events, and it feels like it's strayed way too far away for it to be actually considered real. And I have to touch on the editing, because the editing is atrocious. You can actually tell Angus Sampson was edited out. I don't know why, he just was. There are like shots in the beginning where you see Angus Sampson, it's like, alright, there's this character here. He hasn't done anything. There's more shots of Angus Sampson. There's shots of him standing next to Helen Mirren, Jason Clarke and Sarah Snook in a scene, just standing there. He says nothing. You see him twice, and that's in like the first 40 minutes, and it's not really until that like roughly about the 50-minute mark, like the 45-minute mark, do you really hear him like say something. And it's just this meaningless conversation about how he is employed by like Helen Mirren to build more of the house. And it's just that conversation wasn't really necessary. His character all felt incredibly unnecessary, as whilst he's there in many important scenes to the movie, he does nothing. Nothing at all. And that is by far the most disappointing part. The fact that I was able to tell that he was edited out of the movie as much as possible. I don't know why he was edited out. Maybe it was his performance. His performance overall, I will say, was not great. Winchester, whilst the acting from most is decent, and it is like very nice to look at, It is painfully boring and incredibly, like, plot-wise it makes no sense at all, especially towards the end. I will say that Winchester, or Winchester, the house that Ghost built, I'm never going to figure that out. Burn it with fire. Have you seen Winchester? What did you think of it? What's the worst haunted house movie that you've seen? Let me know in the comments down below. Like the video if you enjoyed it, and subscribe, become one of the Platypus, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye. Oh wow, you made it to the end of the video. Good job. Click that subscribe button over there for more good content, or click one of these two videos down below, which is probably one of my most recent ones, probably. I mean, you know, just click either one of them. Either one's really good enough.